Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Apex This. Welcome to Pit Road Productions. Let's try this again. Good evening and welcome to round 4 of Apex This Season 20 GT3. I'm Daniel Zippy Salmon, I'm up-and-coming producer, experienced commentator, and amateur stand-up comedian as well. Joining me tonight, we were supposed to have Mike Reese. He's not feeling too hot. He's felt rough the last couple of days, so we are potentially going to have a special guest star in the commentary booth for you. We'll see how that works out. He's just trying to get in. It's a little bit of a last minute. Oh my gosh, here we go. And it looks like I've got one of the screens set here wrong. Let's try and fix this up for you. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's better. All right, that's better. It's going well, ladies and gentlemen. Going well. Don't you just love it when a plan comes together? But it's going to be a fun race. We're actually one of my favorite tracks. It is Daytona International Speedway. It is the road course. Myself, quite fond of this. It's one of the greats. You know, they do the 24 hours, obviously there. You know, that usually happens in January, but we're going to get into that in a little bit more. Let's take a quick look at the schedule while we're here. So, as you can see here, Watkins Glen, that was round 1. Algarve, not one of my more familiar tracks. Then we was at the Ring last week. This week we're there, heading to Daytona. Round 5, that's going to be one of the Canadian favourites of CTMP, followed by Autodrome Carlos Pace Grand Prix. I'm sure there's a short name for that, forgive me for not understanding. Round 7, we're off to Fuji with round 8, definitely one of the Princess approved tracks of Road America. Going on to Barcelona. Imola, as it's more affectionately known, for round 10, followed by VIR, and then definitely a favourite for this league is going to be Circuit of the Americas. But the guys, they are currently in qualifying, so let's try and catch up a little bit there. Have a quick look and see what's going on. I think they've just about started it just now. Oh my gosh, stupid thing. There we go. I got too many tabs open, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to mute my tab now. There we go. Alright, that's dealt with. I managed to separate all my tabs as well. Let's get the iRacing sound going for you as well. Now, I do know we've been having a couple of issues with the audio, so hopefully that's going to be a little bit better for you this time. I think that's going to be pretty good. By all means, let me know in the chat if the audio is being, for lack of better words, a little bit of a douche. So, yeah, definitely let me know. I'm actually finding it a little bit loud, but that's okay. It's one of those things. We'll see what we can do. And you see there as well, we've got a little bit of a sponsor graphic rotating around. We're going to have that going on and off throughout the show. Yeah, we're just going to try and get in our special guest. Give me a quick second here. These guys are currently on the outlap. Nobody has yet set a qualifying time. Hopefully we're going to see them pop up in just a few moments. Pretty sure these guys are just in qualifying now. Oh, I don't know if he can see that. That's a thought. So I tell you what we're going to do. We are going to move the broadcast to. We're going to do it off BIS, basically, off my league. So yeah, we're going to do it from there. We might head back for interviews in just a minute, but shouldn't make a difference for you guys. Here we go. Just give us 1 second here. We're going to get the screen shared from my comrade. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us in the booth tonight, Mr. Mike Broomhead. Hey, keep talking, Mike. I'm going to make sure that your audio is set right and that the guys can hear you.
This is a little bit last minute here, but good to see Apex This and what Daniel is doing here as a beat. But we're just watching a car on track. I don't actually know any other drivers here, so we'll see how that goes. But obviously this is Daytona road course. Putting in some, I believe, some lap times right now.
Yep, they're just doing qualifying right now. So right now, we're currently on board with DJ Alessandrini. My apologies, Daniel McKelty. Let me get up something, Mike, that is going to make life a lot easier. Now, Mike has never actually commentated in a booth before, not like at this kind of, there you go, that's going to make life a lot easier. Not at this kind of scenario, and he's literally just stepped in at the last minute. He's part of another league that they were foolish enough to take me on more on a commentary role, but today I'm going to be doing commentary and directing, and obviously you guys at Apex have seen how well that's gone so far, but anybody who's watching, I see there's 4 of you lurking in the background. Please let me know how the audio levels are, because then that way I can tailor it a bit better for you. I can't really listen to it and kind of get it in there at the minute. But the guy in the poll right now is DJ Alessandrini. That's actually a name that you should recognize, Mike. I'm pretty sure he came and joined us for the, I think it was the F1600s he might have stopped by. I know we've seen him, and as predicted, he is at the top of the leaderboard right now, putting in an absolutely blistering 145.2. Paulo Lagner, he's right behind him. I'll say he was. Ryan Otis has just gone and snaked that away from him. He was one of your race winners, I believe, in round 1. Chautsanowski, he's currently in 4th. He won the race last week at the Nuremberg Ring. So, yeah, definitely a few names that you're going to see in there. Austin Diltz, he was on the podium for round 1. Daniel McElderry as well. T. Phillips, thank you very much. Can you confirm, I'm mainly looking for the iRacing volume, my volume, and my colleague Mike's volume. Mike, tell us a little bit about what's going on. Let's maybe get an onboard if I can. I'll find somebody who's a good part of the track for you.
Yeah, so we're on board with Daniel McElderry here. McKelvey, sorry, my mistake. And we're just going on to the banking here at Daytona. So this is a little bit of an easier part of the track, but we're just going to go down to the bottom of the track here and just tick through the gears. You don't want to scrub too much speed. I know that sounds like it's a bit of an easy job, but you really concentrate on being smooth and then just getting the line right here, entering the bus stop. So you're going to look for the mark on the right-hand side and then braking just around the one, just a little bit before. Get that first chicane right, just hold it tight on the right side and make sure you don't cut too far to the left. If you get the tyres too far to the left there, you will lose your lap time, especially in this qualifying session. He may have done so actually, I'm not sure. He's holding up a high line at the moment. So he's just gaining speed and then cutting down to try and get a slingshot, I guess, down the banking there. So that may be his preferred line, but he's coming to the line here. Let's see what he can do. He's currently in 8th place. He's going to cross the line, and doesn't look like it's an improvement. Yeah, no improvement. Actually, somebody beat him to it. I didn't see who popped up there, but he's going through turn 1 here. Really tricky. It's faster than it looks. Through 2 and 3. Keep it to the left. Cut across the pit exit line and into this very tight right-hand hairpin. Very important to get this right. It's very easy to get the back end to come around here, but you're going all the way wide. And then up to the kink. This kink is flat in a lot of cars. There's a little bit of a dip there, but you've got to pull the car over to the left-hand side just to make sure you can get a good late apex on this corner here. Keeping the back end stable, not jumping on the gas too much, and then we're back to where we joined him before with Alessandrini setting a fastest lap of a 44.0. McKelvey currently is not far behind. We've got the interval lap times there, so it's actually not too bad. But look at the banking. That's 45 degrees around Daytona. You really would get a sensation. You'd be looking up through the windshield at this point in real life. So, you know, obviously the sim's a little bit different, but you really feel your organs go a little bit down towards your legs there. And again, we're into the bus stop. So it's actually a very quick lap. And then hopping through the curves here. Again, very smooth through there. A little bit wide on exit. Oh, he's got a little bit squirrely. And, oh, he's lost it. So easy to do, though. Can he hold it? Yeah, he can hold it onto the infield. He's come to a stop, and he'll probably just teleport back to the pits there.
Yeah, definitely not the lap he had in mind. And the bus stop is definitely one of the... it's the more, like, when it goes right, it's fantastic, but it's almost as if you're trying to thread a needle through, trying to get that, you know, it's such a... Sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can't, and I've got to say, T. Phillips, thank you very much. I've just took it down from 10 to 7. I know the in-car is definitely a little bit louder, but definitely a little bit of trial by fire here, trying to get the audio level sorted out, and definitely let us know during, like, I'll keep an eye on the chat as well. Let us know, because obviously we're new starting out of this. You know, Pit Road Productions has only been round, actually, Mike, how long have we been round now? Like, it's not long, like a couple of months at best.
Yeah. So we've all been working together for a while, but at the same time, it was under a different name. Pit Road Productions ourselves, we've just got this together this year, so it's not been too long this summer, I should say. So you know, it's coming together nicely, and actually, so is the qualifying session. We're at the end of it here. Time just ticking down, and Alessandrini is on the pole. What a fantastic lap time from him.
Well, just give me 1 second there, Mike. I am going to get the grid coming up, and here we go. I'll take the first 10. Well, I'll take the first page. You take the next, and we'll just keep flipping between them. So in first place, we have DJ Alessandrini. Let me just get a... There we go. DJ Alessandrini in first with the 145, pretty much flat. Ryan Otis right behind him. Again, one of your previous race winners. Paulo Lagner, I can't say that I've seen this name before, but Chad Sanowski alongside him in row 2. He's definitely a familiar face. Brian Zinn as well. He's there alongside Neil McDougall. Ty Johnson right behind him in 7th, and then Austin Diltz there in 8th.
Yeah, then going on to the second page here, onto row number 5, we've got Daniel McElfrey, as we were on board with him for a lot, at a 45.8, so 8 tenths down. Adrian Adams in 10th place. The next row, we've got Mark Miller and Wesley Bryce. We've got Paul Slavonic and Morgan Smith, and Jeremy Bruce and Zachary Rubin rounding out the top 16.
And as we have a look down, we got in 17th place, we've got Roman Bykov. That's definitely a Apex List regular. Philip Adams alongside him in 18th. Corey Mitchell and Kent Kruger. Now, we got to watch these guys battle last week, and I'm hoping they're going to be battling again. I know Corey was particularly fond of of my commentary line stating that, you know, he was so close to Kent Kruger, he could start throwing dollar bills on the rear bumper. That was the kind of action we had last week at the ring, ladies and gentlemen. With Troy Banks right behind him, he's going to get a front row show to that little endeavor there. He's in 21st with Jake Spittle alongside him in 22nd. Kelly Greenhoe, another Apex List regular, with Brian Lemke alongside him as well in 24th.
Yeah, so we got Sean Jeru, I think, and in 25th place. Russell Elizondo. Oh, these names, you know, I often think the names are hard to read in our league. So Tyler Nevins in 27th and Jonathan Clay in 28th. Mark Bray and Arthur Remias in 30th there, and Bryant Hausman and Carrick Ball not setting a time in 32nd. We got Bryson Lee and Donald Mensing rounding out the field.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was your grid, and please show a little bit of sympathy for our friend Mike here. You know, again, it's not something that he's done before, not on this level, and it's very much like a little bit of a last-minute thing. Myself with the directing, it's getting easier, but it's still a long way to go. Certainly when we usually broadcast, they keep me on the commentary, and yeah, for good reason, you know, but it is definitely a work in progress, and I know we're going to get him set up potentially so he can start covering a few more rounds if I can hoodwink him into it, that is. But DJ Alessandrini, he's going to be your pole position alongside Ryan Otis. And as you can see as well, what a beautiful variety we have here today at Apex. You've got an R8 at the front, the Corvette, quite a popular choice, I've got to admit, and I understand why as well. I loved the GTE version. I can't say I've driven the GT3 yet. The 911 as well, that tends to be very popular, especially under the braking. Fantastic car under the braking. You really got to exploit the characteristics of that car. The BMW, always been my go-to. The Mustang, a little bit of a hit and miss, but right now the pace car is in, and these guys are going to be getting ready to go in just a second. Now we're going to hope for a nice clean start. You see the Mustang's already gone out, and they're green flag, and they're off. And you can already see there, DJ Alessandrini, he has that inside line, which is going to be very beneficial going into turn 1. I'm not seeing any accidents yet. This is good news. I'm looking at the event log, and people are getting clean. There is passes going on, but I am not seeing any incidents, which is good news. What an absolutely slam-packed field as I see there. Kent Kruger and Corey Mitchell, they're having a little bit of a battle back there as it looks like Kruger is going on the inside. I see smoke though.
Yeah, somebody's off in the hairpin there just on the outside, and there's a slow car just after it, and don't see what number that is. It's definitely a Corvette there, missing front end on that car, so there's definitely contact between the two vehicles. That's Adrian Adams there dropping to the back. He's going to tow, he's going to bring the car to a stop, it looks like. Oh no, he's decided he's going to maybe make it around the lap rather than towing. That usually takes a bit more time, but there is a car off. There was a car off, and there have been a bit of contact, and unfortunately that's not a great way to start the race.
Well, just give me 1 second there. I'm going to try and get us a replay, see what happened to Adrian Adams. Okay, that's not quite gone back far enough. Let me try something here. Okay, that overdid it. My apologies there.
We can just roll it on here, though, I think. We've got Adams coming in here through turn 1, keeping it clean right now, and they're going through the little S's here. But what's going to happen here is it looks like everybody's going to stack up, and he's just going to nudge the back of the other Corvette, and they're going to go off there. So unfortunately, contact between two Corvettes, the same brand there to start the race, but everybody else seems to have got through clean.
Well, that was Daniel McKelvey, the other Corvette that got caught into that, and I can confirm that Adrian Adams, he has come in the pits. And yeah, these guys as well, Mike, they do get 1 free fast repair per race. So definitely something, you know, I know that you're used to making use of. Guy comes and helps me in the commentary box, and I just roast him as soon as he gets there. That's not nice, but we got some history. But let's try and find to see what is the close battles happening right now. I say that I'm absolutely inundated with battles right now. This looks to be like one of the passing movies going on right now. It's between Zachary Rubin and Philip Adams. Just give me a second there, Mike. I'm going to try and get a graphic up for you. There we go. Look at that.
Yeah, so the Mustang's gone a little bit deep there, and the Corvette on the inside. This is actually it's between a Corvette and a Mustang here. The Mercedes is right behind them. In the Mercedes colors, actually, the silver behind there. But the Mustang of Zachary Rubin is definitely, he's got a bit of a run, but he's on the outside. So the Corvette of Philip Adams is going to have the nicer line through here. But if Philip can stay on the outside, he can get the more pristine run into the chicane, and really, I guess, bottle Philip Adams' line through there, and yes, exactly, push him out. Sorry, I'm bumbling over my words trying to figure out what part of the track we're on here. But so the Mustang has got right in front there, and of course slowed Adams down just a little bit. So then now we've got Jeremy Bruce, who has a little bit of a run on the outside. Can he hold on to it there?
Well, it's definitely a little bit confusing, and I must say I was very impressed that these guys managed to make it through the bus stop 2 abreast. Generally, for most drivers, that would have ended in chaos. As Chad Sanowski, he was last week's winner at the Nürburgring. He's just set the fastest lap of the race with a 1:45.2. Even quicker than DJ Alessandrini as well by about 0.2 of a second. But these guys are absolutely scrapping. But we've got another battle happening further up. It is between Paulo Langer. We really need to have the sheet, the cheat sheet I'm on about, just so we can get this going. But it looks like, what's the R8? No, it's a Corvette at the front of the pack. So that's Brian Zinn in the 82 Corvette. Well, the number 82. If that was an 82, then wow, that's like back to the future level of futurism right there. But it looks like he's got an absolute train of cars behind him. He's got Paulo behind him. He's got Ty Johnson, and then he's got Neil McDougall as well. Austin Dilt's not far behind. So at the minute, he is the cork in the champagne, as to say. And these guys are definitely wanting to get past him and chase down that podium spot.
Yeah, he may have made a mistake, I'm not sure, to back up that pack there. They were right on him, but now he's pulling away again. That's what sort of tells me there was a little bit of an error there in the middle. He's pulling away. We've got the lights flashing on the BMW behind, just to get into McDougall's mirror there, just to let him know that he's there. It's kind of intimidating to have that mean-looking BMW right behind, but as we see ahead, there may be somebody on a slowdown. He's going up high, he's just letting them by. That might be Ryan Otis in the 32. He's taking the high line, and he's giving up time voluntarily. Or is there a bit of damage on that car? I'm not sure at this moment, but he seems to be keeping the pace, so he may have just been giving up just from skipping the corner on the exit of the bus stop, which is very easy to do, as mentioned before. But it seems to be that they're spread out a little bit here. Everybody's just getting into a groove. There are 23 laps in this race. We're only 4 laps in, so quite a long way to go. A little bit of a longer lap, but settling in nicely in the front positions here.
Well, I am trying to get that little overlay back, and I appear to have broke it. Don't ask me how I've done it. But the little comparison appears to... there we go. It's back, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies for that. But yeah, I was just trying to get the speed up at the time. But definitely, as Mike was saying, very, very easy to get a slowdown in the bus stop. But that has put him in the range now of Brian Zinn. So I'd say on a GT3 car, if you're within a second, you are going to get a nice little bit of draft off the back of that rear wing. And that's the position Ryan Otis is in now. He's now 1.5, soon to be 1.6 seconds back of Chad Sanowski. Actually, Sanowski giving DJ Alessandrini a bit of a run as well. He's within a second, but he's kind of put himself off the draft of the lead 2 cars. So, you know, now instead of being on the offensive, he is now on the defensive, and potentially he could get stuck in a conveyor of cars stuck behind him, as we can see there. Brian Zinn, Paulo Langer, Ty Johnson, Neil McDougall, those tops, well, between 3rd and 7th, anybody of these 5 cars could have a shot at taking that last podium spot.
Yeah, it's going to be a close race. So obviously they're just bringing the tires in. You don't want to overstress the tires on the first opening laps here. So obviously some people are a little bit of aggressive when it comes to a shorter race, but you want to sort of bring them in nicely, not overheat them early. And this is Florida, so this is going to be moderately warm. We got another car on the outside in the Mercedes there, probably having got a slowdown penalty. That's Jeremy Bruce in the number 4. And he's obviously let these 2 cars by, but he's back up to speed again. We got Bykov and Mitchell here on in the screen here. So we've got the Corvette of Mitchell and the Mustang of Bykov. They're very close. And of course, the car behind that just had the slowdown, he is going to be right on them very, very soon, because he was definitely faster and he qualified in front of them. So he should be able to challenge them again. But we got Slavonic and Miller here side by side, it looks like, going through the kink. That's a nice little multicolored livery on the Mustang there of Slavonic. But keeping it nice and together. There's 2 Mustangs right here at the front, and then we've got Miller in the 911 GT3. Oh! We've got...
That's Austin Diltz.
Austin Diltz has lost it on the exit of the hairpin.
Well, I will say that is quite
easily
done. That's quite easily done. I know when I was testing the Mustang, I did find that it would over-rotate just a little bit. Let's see if we can get a quick replay to see what happened. I don't think he was helped along at all. I think it was all pretty clean in all fairness, but let's try and get a little bit of a better view here. There we go. We'll have a quick look. We'll see if there's a little bit of contact. I think he just over-rotated under his own accord.
Yeah, it's right in the middle of the corner there. He's already sliding. He's getting a bit squirrely. He's got onto the grass on the outside just enough to just put the car towards the other side, losing the back end basically from the middle of the corner all the way to the outside there, and then onto the infield there. And he's towed himself, so he's pretty unhappy with that. But it looks like, again, another car. We got Ruben in the Mustang, the number 27, the red and orange car there. He has definitely just had a skip slowdown penalty, and he has let the what are we at? Is that a Lamborghini? No, that's a Ferrari, isn't it?
Ferrari, yeah. It's 296.
He's just let the Ferrari through. So a lot of people falling foul to the slowdown penalty on the exit of the bus stop there. But if they can keep it clean, obviously it's going to be a little bit better for them.
Well, in that little battle that we've had, certainly between Kent Kruger and Corey Mitchell, currently Kent Kruger is ahead of that. That's Kent, the big dog Kruger to you, ladies and gentlemen. He is managed to pull away from Corey Mitchell. And something we haven't mentioned just yet is Hard Charger. So I'm going to take a quick look at that and see who is currently, you know, absolutely sending it through positions. I say that, I've got so much stuff in the way of the screen right now. I'm trying to find it. What's going on? Is it not giving me my Hard Charger anymore? I'm going to try putting it on another screen just to see if I can find it a second. Here we go.
And while you do that, we've got Corey Mitchell in the shot here, just going onto the banking. Let's see if Bykov can get any sort of tow. Mitchell does have a tow himself. We've lost the screen there. As if you're always reorganizing things. But yeah, we've got Bykov. He's got a little bit of a tow. It's not close enough, and it's not a huge amount. But of course, the Mustang in front is pulling Mitchell along in the Corvette here. And again, through the bus stop, everybody's spread out just a little bit, just to give each other a bit of space. And you know, I'm sure they're pushing, but of course everybody is pretty talented in this league, and so you know, it's very hard to gain a little bit of margin over somebody else. But they're definitely pushing along. Let's see how the next lap will go.
Well, I've got to say, I do not know why I'm not getting a Hard Charger showing up right now. It's not out of lack of effort. I did just turn the sucker on again, but maybe it's out of view. I'm not too sure. I will try and get that back for you in just a second. We're going to try a little bit of a risky technique in just a moment. But let's have a quick look to see where the battles are right now. And it looks like Neil McDougall... Oh! Forget that. We got a fight going on for the lead, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Alessandrini, he's under pressure from Chad Sanowski. And let's change the graphic there. There we go. Under pressure from Chad Sanowski. So this could be an absolute stomper of a battle. Now, for those at home who don't know, DJ Alessandrini, he does drive in real life. And if I remember rightly, I've got a feeling it might be a Civic. Maybe I'm getting confused with Alex Ellis. I can't remember if he drives a Civic. Maybe you know that one. Maybe.
Ellis is driving like Porsches and things at the moment, so I'm not sure. You said Alessandrini?
Yeah, I think Alessandrini drives a Civic race car. You know, he's at the point where he is a paid driver, I believe. But Chad Sanowski right behind him. So we've got a 7,000 IR and a 3,800 IR. With Rhino, it's not far behind. He's a 5,500. So even though iRating doesn't matter when it comes to a league race, it definitely does. It gives you a little bit of a prediction potentially on where people are going to come. But that battle's spreading out a bit. It looks like Philip Adams, he's going to be having a go at Wesley Bryce potentially. Going to try and get a run. So Wesley there, he's in the 911, and you've got Philip Adams trying to chase him down in that Corvette. Very popular car choice has actually been these two cars. You know, generally the R8 is a little bit of a unicorn, but most disappointing to me is I'm yet to see a McLaren take the grid here in Apex this.
Yeah, the McLaren is, you know what, it's a fun car to drive, but maybe it's not as competitive as some of the other cars. These guys, I'm not sure if they have a rule where they mandate you have to stay with the same car or a certain amount of changes per season, but you can effectively, if you have a bit of freedom, you can effectively pick the best car for the track. And the McLaren tends to not have that as being the main choice. But, you know, there's a wide variety of cars in this league, so I'd imagine there is a little bit in the area of they have to stick to the same car. You would know better than I would with who's been driving.
I'm pretty sure you do. I think you have to stick to the same car.
Yeah, so they would have known that for a fact, whereas some of these drivers would have gone, okay, so the Mustang's fast at this track, the Porsche's fast at this track. I want to go with the one I like to drive the best, or the one that has the best chance of getting a good result at multiple tracks. But unfortunately, the McLaren doesn't seem to have that benefit. But as we go towards the battle for 50th between Russell Elizondo and Kelly Greenhoe, the Porsche versus the BMW M4. Around the banking here, similar sort of gap that is going throughout the field here. Like I say, these tend to spread out through the infield unless they really get a run, but you know, it comes towards the end of the lap after this bus stop chicane here. We've got a battle behind between 4 cars there. It's like 3 or 4 cars back is getting tight into the bus stop. But actually, Kelly Greenhoe's got a good run. Here we go. They're going around the outside. That's it. Gaining a little bit of time here, a lot of momentum, and they're side drafting at the moment.
Yeah,
and hopefully,
definitely going to be absolutely send it. Now, Russell Elizondo, he's somebody who has not had the most luck in recent races. Generally, he has been popping up, and I say that. Commentators curse, ladies and gentlemen. They make contact and take an involuntary trip towards the pit lane. I gotta say, that's a great job by Greenhoe to pull it back away from the racing line. I thought he was about to be the most glorious bit of BMW roadkill at that point. Let's try and get a quick replay of that. That's definitely... it's not what they had in mind. I mean, it takes a little bit of a whoops to manage to do that. It must have been a little bit of netcode. Let's see here as they're leaving the bus stop. I'm going to try and switch the cameras around for you as well. Let's have a closer look to see... Really close, side by side, almost touching, wheel to wheel action. It doesn't get any closer than this, ladies and gentlemen. You see there a little bit of a nudge potentially there from the 911, but God bless Texas right in the back. And yeah, definitely potentially a little bit of netcode there. And you see these guys both get sent into the pits. The 911 does not come off rail. Russell Elizondo, his 911 lands straight in the pit box, I admit, but I guess making the most use of that fast repair, albeit involuntarily.
Yeah, there's just a tiny touch there. It wasn't a lot, but you know, when you're on the banking, it's very easy to turn another car, especially with the weight of the car sort of pushing against the front of another one, and you tend to get that in NASCAR quite easily. You just lift the rear of the other car and it will go around, but not a huge touch there, just a little bit of one, but a large price to pay anyway. As we look further back in the field, we've got a battle for 21st, 22nd. That's 20th just in front of the Mustang, but we have Sean Garreau in the Corvette and Jake Spittle in the 911. Actually, Jake's got a bit of a run here, and you can see that Sean is definitely thinking about the defense. He's looking around He's weaving a little bit just to see if he can break the tail a little bit here, but there is a bit of a run. Where's Jake gonna go though? Because you know it's he's gonna go down the inside. He's gonna get a run down the inside here, but Sean, oh, a little bit deep. Both of them making it around the corner. That corner definitely opens up, but that's a great move there from Jake. He's definitely sent it on the inside, and he's kept that position well.
Well, it was an absolutely fantastic job, and T. Phillips, he's been an absolute star helping us here with the broadcast. He does tell me that they can change cars, but they won't score points if they do. They have to stick to the same car they started with. Now, Sean Garou, he's somebody I want to give a little bit of a shout out to, because usually he's battling with the Lamborghini of, I believe it's Morgan Smith. Now, if I check in very quickly with him, I'm going to try and find Morgan Smith. I felt sure he drives a Lamborghini. Yep, that is the exact one. So these guys usually going hard at it, but definitely spread out a little bit today. So Morgan Smith, he's up in 16th. Sean Garou, he's down in 22nd. But Daniel McElvery, he's right ahead of him. Now, this is one of the guys who got caught in that lap 1 incident, him and Adrian Adams. But if I have a look, I'm not quite sure where Adams is. I'm going to see if I can find him in just a second. I desperately want some more screens, ladies and gentlemen. And if I have a look for Adrian Adams, I've got a suspicion he may have retired. I know Austin Diltz has. Yep, Adrian Adams as well. He did retire. So a little bit disappointing there. But as I look through, it looks like Roman Bykoff and Corey Mitchell, these guys having a scrap yet again.
Yeah, we got Bykov just right up the backside. He's waiting for the move here, just pushing Mitchell along, and now he's probably he's going to back off and try to get a better run here in the Coors Light Mustang off of turn 2, but he didn't want to push it too far into one there. But oh, it's nice and deep there. Oh, he's getting swirly on the braking zone there, but. Yeah,
I can't cheer for him in a Coors Light paint. I'm sorry. That's not even beer. That's water.
Honestly, yeah, he's getting some good advertising there for that water company there. But he definitely. I wasn't sure whether he was going to commit to it. Maybe he's unsure on the brakes. Maybe he didn't want to make that move then. But he feels like he's definitely being held up now. And we've got cars behind catching a little bit. So let's see if he can make a little bit of a better run in this lap around the banking here. Good distance behind, should be getting a good tow. You can see it's just creeping a little bit closer. He's probably not going to make it before the chicane unless it really picks up, but he's going to probably try to do it again down the turn 4 of the oval and then down the front stretch.
Yeah, definitely the bus stop is not where I would be trying to make a move, but I think something's just happened to Troy Banks. Let's have a quick look to see what we can see. So he's one of the Apex's regulars as well. I've actually driven against Troy, and he has absolutely blistering pace, but not always the most consistent driver. And it is a shame. If he could clean up his long game a little bit, I think he would have a lot more success. And not to hate on the guy, like for pace, he's absolutely incredible. He's almost like the Hulkenberg of Apex S, and you can see there, just getting a little bit of an over rotation, very quickly able to dive out the way. You see Sean Garou go by there as well. But let's try and get back to this battle very quickly of Corey Mitchell, because it looks like Roman Bykov has dropped right off. I'm not too sure why. He's telling me he's gone in the pits, but hang on a second. Yeah, he's pit. So, ladies and gentlemen, pit stop window has started. And I say that as well. Chad Sanowski, he put in another best time of 145.1. So it'll be interesting to see in the long game where Bykov's going to come out in comparison to Corey Mitchell. But if I have a look at Mitchell as well, it looks like he is a little bit behind Kruger. So these guys, definitely a little bit of rivalry, but I say that there's still quite a bit of a gap there. So Kruger, he's ahead with the next pack. Let's have a quick look to see where we can find the biggest battle. I think it's Brian Lemke and Jake Spittle again. These guys, very, very different cars. The Mustang quite heavy. Certainly from when I drove it, I found it quite heavy, a little bit unstable. Don't get me wrong, I think with different setups, the handling of that car will change quite drastically, but we have seen it be quite temperamental, quite hard to control. The 911, I've always found it's hard to get the most pace out of it unless you are really, really late on the brakes. But, you know, some of the cars are notorious for having more for like, a bit of straight line speed. For example, the AMG always used to be pretty famous for that, and not too popular in this series. But you can see there, Jake Spittle, he's using as much of that draft as he can. He's going to get a good run heading into the bus stop, but I've got a feeling he's going to wait, try and carry as much of that speed as possible, and potentially make a move going down the start-finish straight.
DJ Alessandrini is in the pits from the lead. We got Chad Sanofsky was putting in some blistering lap times there. He was 0.2 behind, I believe, when he went into when DJ went into the pits there. So I don't know if they're taking, you'll know more than I will about this, if they're taking tires and fuel or if it's just fuel. But let's see how this goes. Chad could be putting in some good times, and hopefully he could jump it in the pits. Well, hopefully for him. But DJ is currently down in 15th and just coming out of the pit lane now.
Well, we got to wonder as well, is he going to get caught in a load of traffic? And it looks like he's just about able to get away with it. Definitely, traffic is one of the wild cards here in Apex this. If you get caught between some cars, it can really potentially throw a complete spanner in your race. But I think the biggest battles we got going on right now, it was Corey Mitchell, Jeremy Bruce, and Daniel McKelvey. We have a 3-car shuffle going on right now. Bruce in the AMG, McKelvey in the Corvette, and Mitchell in the Corvette as well. Corey Mitchell, he actually drives a Corvette in real life as well. It is, it's not this shape. I believe it is the one before. Forgive me, I'm not a Corvette expert by any means. I know Mike Reese, who we had here last week, again, we hope he feels better soon. He would definitely, I know he caught out which Corvette it was, but Corey, perhaps share a few more pictures of this Corvette, and I've seen a couple on Facebook. It looks phenomenal, full-on race car. It's not like the grocery getter and wears New Balance level of Corvette. It's a little bit more serious than that. But you see, McKelvey, he has managed to make a move on the outside, carried some fantastic speed out of the bus stop, and he is there almost alongside Jeremy Bruce now. AMG versus Corvette. Definitely, an interesting matchup, but we're going to see here. That looks like, yep, Mitchell and Bruce, they're coming in the pits. McKelvey, he would have potentially used a fast repair earlier, so we'll have to pit again later for fuel. I mean, these guys are limited fuel tanks, and thank goodness iRacing lets you weave in a little bit there. That would have been a very expensive accident, but let's have a look here as well. Chad Sanowski, he's just on the way out of the pits. DJ Alessandrini, he's not far behind. They're going to be going out of turn 1, and I think Chad Sanowski, he's got him. Chad Sanowski is now going to be your outright race winner, with DJ Alessandrini very, very close behind.
Call it the race winner before it happens there, Zippy, but race leader for sure. So he's 2.3. He gained sorry, no, I'm looking at the wrong gap there, but he's 0.9. So he's actually gained about 1.1 seconds on DJ for pitting a lap later, which is pretty impressive. So let's see if he does actually have the outright pace and he wasn't just sitting behind him, unable to get by. So let's see if he can pull away, but obviously he's getting his tires back into the window, the operating window here, as they have cooled down a little bit. But DJ will be pushing just to try and get that back, as he sees the back of that 911 for the first time in this race.
Well, definitely, he's got the gap under a second, so he will be getting a draft, albeit not much of one. More of a slight tickle at this point, but it'll be interesting to see how these guys shake it up. But we're going to leave them to it for a few minutes. We'll keep an eye on the timing, because it looks like Mark Miller, he's somebody we've seen quite a lot of good driving from him so far in the series. I've been quite impressed with his results. Very consistent as well, and he's currently sat back in 12th, so definitely not rocking a podium right now, but he has Wesley Bryce right behind him. Porsche versus Porsche, with Ken Kruger just lurking in the background a little bit. He's about a second behind Wesley Bryce.
We got everybody who has stayed out so far. We got Otis, we got Langner, we got Adams, McKelvey. They have jumped into the pit lane, so Chad and DJ are now going to be your race leaders once again. But let's see if they they have definitely they've kept it out longer. They've potentially put in some good lap times while everybody else was going in their hammer time, as it were, and hopefully they can make their little bit of a leeway into the top fight here. But we continue the fight with 0.5 between the leader Chad Sanofsky and second place DJ Alessandrini. But as we look at it right now, we have 10th place and 11th place Mark Miller and Wesley Bryce And we've got Brian Zinn and Neil McDougall now on screen. There's a little bit of a gap here. McDougall right behind Zinn. I believe I have raced Brian Zinn before as well. That's a very familiar name to me. I'm not sure what league that was in, but I've seen him around. And, you know, putting some pressure on him in the Corvette here. The Porsche 911. I don't know which car is stronger down the banking, but that'll be different, of course, because every car has its own attributes, its own strengths, its own weaknesses. So these drivers will be experiencing a little bit of fluctuation depending on what part of the track they are on.
Well, definitely. And myself, I've always loved Daytona. And actually, as well, where it's one of the 24-hour tracks, another event coming up soon is the iRacing 24 Hours. And I got to admit, I'm actually without a drive this year. My usual team seems to have all gone into retirement. But we're gonna leave that on hold for a minute because DJ Alessandrini, he's managed to close the gap down on Chad Sanowski. He's got it down to 0.2 of a second. So this is a battle for your race lead, ladies and gentlemen. And is he going to be able to do it? I'm going to change the view. There we go. That's how close he is, ladies and gentlemen. That, well, I guess comic print car, Audi R8, absolutely right on his bumper, nose to tail, and not quite able to make the move heading into turn one.
Yeah, he was going to try for the over-under there, but it's a little bit difficult in turn one. It's actually a faster corner than it seems, but he is right on him, putting a lot of pressure on the back of that 911. He'll be pushing him around the course. He'll be effectively trying to see where he's faster. He'll be judging his distances. He'll be seeing what Chad Sanowski is going to do, especially in braking zones and on the throttle and which line he takes. But just putting in a little bit of pressure and see that's a great exit there. He's right on him. He's going to have a great run onto the banking. He should probably hold it off until the banking here, so he's not going to make a lunge down here, but he's going to get a good exit. And there he is. Maybe he's a little bit too close, though. Sometimes you can be too close onto the banking. See how he went up high? He's actually giving him a bit of space so that he can get a little bit more of a slingshot. If he was right on his bumper, he wouldn't have got that slingshot at all. So he's actually giving himself just a little bit of elastic band, sort of see if he can pull it in here. But he might do the same thing through the bus stop, as he doesn't really have you know, the track position here. He's going to back it up, go a little bit wide on the entrance, come in tight and get a good exit. Now he's got a great run for the banking.
Oh, that was an absolutely fantastic run. And I often find sometimes if you follow a little bit too close, you can lose track of where your brake markers are. I've definitely... Laguna Seca is probably the biggest one I can think of for that. Before you go up the hill heading to the corkscrew, there's that sharp left-hander. But I say that DJ Alessandrini, he's managed to get alongside Chad Sanowski again, but he's going to have to go the long way around. You know, these guys very clean between them, leaving a lot of space there, but that space gets tighter as they head down into turn one. Alessandrini's ahead right now, and I think he's managed to get it done on the outside at that.
That's a fantastic move, Zippy, on the outside in that R8. Very well balanced car. He definitely has control over that vehicle, and he was definitely looking for the strategic advantage there. So he went nice and deep into one on the outside and kept the momentum. Like I say, that corner is actually faster than it seems. Everybody thinks it's kind of hairpin-like, but it's kind of a bit more 90 degrees. So if you can dip that right tire, compress that spring, you can really shoot off and get a good exit. And that's exactly what he did. He stuck it back into the lead, and my prediction that Chad had more pace was incorrect. DJ is back in the lead.
Well, he's back in the lead for now, but we're going to leave these guys to scrap it out a little bit. Brian Zinn and Neil McDougall, these guys are still going at it. But then again, so is Ty Johnson, and I believe that is Philip Adams as well. Yep, Philip Adams and Ty Johnson. So these guys are scrapping. BMW versus Chevrolet. And we say that Ty Johnson has just been able to snake ahead. Not by much, ladies and gentlemen, but we're going to see now, because often what can happen, it can be advantageous to not take a position at a certain part of the track. Again, I'm going to use Spa as a reference, but you could force a pass going into turn one at Spa, depending on the layout. Basically, the tight right-hander just on like the corner of the pits. You could do that, and then you're going to give the guy behind you a draft all the way down the hill, up through Rouge, out through Rodillion, and down that straight. And often you will not retain that position. So sometimes it is tactical to sit behind. Certainly in this case, Philip Adams, he's going to get an absolute stonker of a run, and I do believe that it is long enough that he's currently half a second back. We're going to see just how close he can get by the start-finish line. And then not only that, if he can say, if he goes, okay, I'm 0.3 of a second back and I can use that, and he knows that he can catch that gap on the straight, you see there, look, I don't think that was intentional. Ty Johnson just went out quite wide and let him go. I think there is definitely a little bit of strategic play at foot.
Yeah, sometimes you're going side by side into that turn, and it gets a little bit hairy. Maybe he's not sure. Maybe they have history. Maybe he's not sure of the braking. Maybe he's just playing it safe. But to let him go, to give him track position there, it may actually be worthwhile in the long run to sit behind and just pick up a little bit of pace. Sometimes, even if I'm not saying this is the case for him, but sometimes if you don't think you can catch the car in front, but the car behind you seems faster, you can jump behind them, and then they can pull you along as well. So there's a lot of strategy. It's much more than just overtake and get track position. It's really, these drivers are really thinking about every move that they make and what the best opportunity is for them and how to really maximize their result here. And we go back with Brian Zinn and McDougall here going into the bus stop.
Well, I don't know quite what's happening with the timing. It's, in some reason, it's convinced it's 1.8 seconds, and I'm inclined to disagree, ladies and gentlemen. For lack of better words, I call bullshit on that one. So we're going to ignore that for the minute. I'm not too sure what's going on, but I do getting a little bit of a report that Bryant Houseman may have crashed. But right now, the closest battle on track is this, and it's not, because Chad Sanowski, he's right on the tail of DJ Alessandrini. So these guys, 5 laps to go. Any of these two could win it, but I say that, Neil McDougall, is he finally going to get a chance at Brian Zinn? I do apologize, Mike, but there's just too many battles going on right now. There's this one going on, Corvette versus Porsche. There's another one happening further back between Ty Johnson and Philip Adams as well. Corvette versus BMW, and I say that, Daniel McElroy, oh my gosh, 3-car battle going on here between Mark Miller, Wesley Bryce, and Daniel McElroy. Porsche, and Corvette. McElroy trying to do a absolute recovery drive at this point. Actually, speaking of recovery drives, Matthew Morthart last week, he was on a recovery drive with Mission, able to recover a third. Not here this week. A little bit disappointing. It's definitely one of the top runners here at Apex this.
Yeah, we got so many battles, like you say, across the board. We got Chad only 0.4 behind. We got Ty. Who's this off? This is Brian Zinn. Was there contact at all? That was in the braking zone, it seems. This is going into, I believe it's turn either 3 or 4. I don't know what number they name it there. But coming off the corner, we got Zinn and then McDougall. This battle has been raging for quite some time now, and hopefully it doesn't come to anything but tears, any tears here. But he's just got it a little bit wrong on the exit of that kink there. Maybe a little bit of a dip into the grass on the right-hand side.
I want to have another look at that.
It's a really talented thing for them to drive backwards like that very fast.
Incredible.
That's just over the bumps on the curb right here.
I'm going to try and slow it down a second. Hang on. Oh, he's just got loose. Just a bump. It's
just loose on the curb on the bump there. It's just offset the back of the car, jumped it into the air while it was under load, and that's just sent him around.
Definitely a little bit unfortunate there, but he is back and running. But as I say that, let's have a look. Oh dear, what's going on over here now? Let's switch the cameras.
We've got Ty Johnson in the pits. Not sure why he's in the pits there, but definitely pitting with 4 laps to go. Maybe a little bit of damage, maybe that was a meatball, but we have...
There we go. So right now we've got Jeremy Bruce. Alongside him is Roman Bykov, and I say alongside him, he's not really behind him at this point, at least he was. You can see there, Roman Bykov actually having a very feisty race today. Jeremy Bruce as well. He was having a little bit of a battle with Corey Mitchell earlier. He's managed to pull away about 3.5 seconds on this pair, but these guys absolutely sending it. I've got to say, Jeremy Bruce, I do really like the paint. It is the AMG Formula 1 team colours, and that just makes me feel good, especially today. Mike, you definitely agree with this. We had 3 Brits on the pole for the qualifying. For a long while, we had 3 Brits as well in the race. And then, not only that, we had a 1st and a 3rd position at our home Grand Prix. So definitely a good result, even if Silverstone isn't one of my Princess-approved tracks.
Yeah, it was a good result for the Mercedes team. Obviously, they had the pole and they had the win as well, with Sir Lewis finally getting a win after so many years. But it's good to see that, and hopefully that Jeremy Bruce is hoping that the livery itself is pushing him along just a little bit, making it a bit more official. But you know what? Up front, we have Chad Chanelski,
Yes.
0.1. It's getting closer. He's right on him. He knows he's got 3 laps to go, though. He knows that if he overtakes him, that DJ will have the draft, he will have the choice of the line. So maybe he's just putting him under pressure, seeing if he can interrupt his train of thought, seeing if he can pressure him off the track into a mistake, make him look at the mirror just that little bit, and hopefully get an easy pass there. But maybe he's just waiting for that last lap, and hopefully he's preparing for that, getting the timing right, and seeing what DJ will do in certain parts of the track. So we'll see how that plays out, but everybody's doing roughly the same thing. We go back to Jeremy Bruce here, just defending against that Mustang. A little bit of a slide there from Roman Bykov in the Mustang. He's just lost that little bit of space. Very easy to do, especially when you've got that car under load and you add a little bit more brake. But this battle is raging on. This battle's all over the place, like you say. A little bit of the saddle weave. Just a little bit of a weave there. Are things getting a little bit, yeah, he's been flashing the lights there. He's not happy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the gloves are going to come off. Daniel McKeldry is in the red corner, and in the blue corner we have Wesley Bryce. Apologise, the colours are not accurate. The Marlboro Porsche at this point. I say it's Marlboro. It isn't, but it's got the Marlboro colours, and anybody who watched Formula One at any point during the 90s will know exactly what I'm on about. But currently that gap between Chad Stanowski and DJ Alessandrini, that's opened up to a second, so quieting down for a little bit with 3 laps to go. But this is where the spice is going on. Kent Kruger, he's going to get a front row seat of that, and I'm just going to try it. There you go. I say a front row seat, he's not quite got the best view that I hoped for. Yeah, that was a little disappointing.
Yeah, they're definitely going for it, though. They're weaving all over the place. There's a little bit of blocking going on. But they are pushing hard. And then they have the... who do they have right in front of them? That's Mark Miller right in front. 0.7 in front of Wesley Bryce. So they're now getting closer to him. He is pulling Wesley Bryce along. So hopefully that's a little bit of help for Bryce. But you see, right behind, McElvey is definitely getting a run down the front stretch here. It's 2 laps to go. He's going to take it around the outside. Can he do the same thing that DJ did earlier?
Well, that looked like he got... Oh, that looked like contact! Did I just see the 911 get a little bit of a ding there?
Yeah, a little bit of squirrely on the apex of the corner there. The 911 definitely had a little bit of a tap to the front end, and that would have put him just a little bit of opposite lock to try and save that car. But now he's right into the I don't know how to say that, but he's right in front of Kent Kruger. Kruger is just on the back of him now and putting him under even more pressure.
Yeah, Kent the big dog Kruger, he was sat in a prime opportunity if these guys got a little bit hairy, but I do want to see if Wesley Bryce had a little bit of contact. But what I do want to do, I think we're just going to put it on the rear chase cam, and we'll see if we can see anything on that nose. I think it looks pretty clean.
Yeah, the tap wasn't too bad. It seemed to be just under load. So when you're going around the corner, you get the car under load, meaning you are putting it absolutely to the pressure that the tires will take. They're really gripping on, they're holding on for dear life, and then just a little tap can get you to slide. And that can happen on the rear, but it also can happen on the front. So as the other car came across the nose of Wesley Bryce and tapped the front end of that, that can offset the car and just put you into a little bit of a slide as well. So that wasn't too bad, lost a little bit of time, probably not too happy about it, but you live to fight another day.
Definitely, he's still back in 10th position, but Daniel McKelvey, he's already pulled away about 2.2 seconds. You can see the gap there, ladies and gentlemen, and he is on to his next victim. Not to say that he's going to take out Mark Miller, but he's definitely keen. He's worked up and trying to make that move on the outside. Looks like he left a little bit more space this time around, but he got it done. It was clean, and Mark Miller, that 911 is now going to be excuse me, hot on the rear end of that Corvette.
Yes, and we're on to the final lap while Zippy tries to survive whatever breathing he is failing at. We're on to the final lap here with DJ Alessandrini actually definitely pulling away. Chad Sanofsky has definitely dropped back, whether he's just accepting the fact that DJ has him today. He has dropped to almost 2 seconds behind after being so close all that time. But there are a few close battles through the field, but DJ is making his way up to the back of lap traffic, round the bus stop for the final time. And the lap traffic is going to give him the inside lane here but he's coming around the banking, around turn 3, around turn 4, off the banking there, not of the road course numbers, those are a little bit different, but he's going to come towards the line for the victory in this fantastic action-packed race. He's led most of the race and definitely in control for it, with Chad Sinofsky finishing second.
Well, it's going to be good, but it looks like we've got one more battle going on as they're going to be down, heading to the line. This is in the final corner, ladies and gentlemen, and it's Neil McDougall versus Paul Langer. I thought they were a lot closer than that.
Did he run out of fuel? Did he?
I'm wondering at that point.
He looks like he's run out of fuel. He's really slowed down. Maybe the car was hiccuping. Maybe it was a little bit tight there, but he definitely wouldn't have wanted to let off the gas there, but he is... Yeah, anyway, he was securely in that position he was in. He didn't lose anything from it, but well done to everybody there. Wesley Bryce had a good battle there.
Ooh. Oh, they're on the other side, damn it. I'm getting all excited, and I'm thinking I've not quite got my bearings. Okay, so who else? I think that's going to be it for how close they were. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Well, all right. Well, that was a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed that. Let me get rid of a few boxes here, and we are going to go over your results. Hopefully, they're going to display all right and do not say pit. I apologize if they do, but just give me 1 second here. I'm going to try and type something in. There we go. Okay, let's have a quick look. And is it going to give me any results? It says pit. Damn it. What can I do here now? I do apologize for that. It's something I haven't quite figured it out yet. So, your race winner, DJ Alessandrini, he was in first with Chad Sinofsky there in second. Ryan Otis was third with Neil McDougall in fourth. We saw him having a little bit of battle with Paulo Langer at the end in fifth. Paul Slavanek, now that guy actually writes a book, ladies and gentlemen. And I tell you what, if he throws a bit of money this way, I'll even mention it on the stream. Little hint there, Paul. Philip Adams, he was in seventh with Daniel McKelvey having that absolutely phenomenal recovery drive. Getting caught in the first lap incident, he's there in 8th with Mark Miller in 9th and Wesley Bryce in 10th.
Well, you see the top 10 there were mostly Corvettes and Porsches, but we had the Audi and the Mustang in there. But we've got Kent Kruger in the lone Ferrari in 11th, Brian Zinn, Corey Mitchell, Jeremy Bruce, Roman Bykov in 15th there, Morgan Smith, Jake Spittle, Brian Lemke. We've got Ty Johnson and Troy Banks rounding up the top 20.
In 21st, we've got Sean Garou. Definitely did not get to have battles with the Lamborghini of Morgan today. A little bit disappointed. I was really hoping to see those guys go at it again. But Tyler Evans alongside him in 22nd. Mark Bray, 23rd. Arthur Remiaz. Can't say I've seen him before yet. Donald Mensing definitely had a little bit of a rough race today. I've seen him popping up on the event log. He was 25th. Bryant Houseman as well. Not the best race. Jonathan Clay, Kelly Greenhoe, Russell Elizondo, and Zachary Zubin there.
Yeah, no, these are the retirees. We've got Austin Diltz, Bryson Lee, Adrian Adams out early, and as well as Carrick Ball out very early on as well. So not great for those guys, but of course DJ and Chad had a great run at the top as well.
Definitely not what they had in mind. I'm going to try and get a different camera up, and it's going well, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try and get the camera up. I know exactly which camera I want. And it's not working. This is going good. Let me try this again. Hang on. Fuck it. Oh, it is on the right camera. It just isn't giving it to me. Okay. Good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to have a quick look here in the Apex This League, see if there is anybody who's going to come in for an interview. I don't see anyone hanging around. They actually had to do this interview from a different channel. So I guess we're going to get round to closing it out now. Damn it, wrong cameras. There we go. We was hoping to see Mike Reese here today. He's not feeling very well, but I've got to say, what a absolutely fantastic race. Now, let's give a little bit of a round of applause. Not that he's going to hear it anyway. I'm going to clap for him. And for you guys at home, for Mike Broomhead making his, well, I guess his official commentary debut. So let's give it up. Mike Broomhead. The crowd's going wild. I swear somebody just threw something in from the crowd. I can't say what it is on the stream, ladies and gentlemen, but use your imagination. Mike, give us a quick review. What were some of your favorite highlights of the race?
Yes, honestly, some of the guys had some fantastic battles there. We had some good lunges. It was the moves around the outside and into turn one. It's always a tricky thing. It's kind of a difficult thing to get right, and especially the turn one dips a little bit, and it's really hard to get that rotation right. And a lot of the guys managed to do that. We had some fantastic battles up front, fantastic battles through the pack, but also like the pit strategy was fantastic. Chad almost made it stick in the lead there with some great strategy. So well done to the guys, and it's definitely entertaining, and I'm glad to jump in here. It's been a fantastic race.
Well, it definitely was really good having Mike here stepping in literally at the last minute to come and help me out. And I gotta say as well, it really was a fantastic race, and what I really love most about Apex is it's not just a battle at the front, it's not just a battle in the midfield. There was battles going on everywhere. I never had a dull moment here looking in the commentary booth at the timing screen. There was action going on everywhere, and I didn't see any, particularly dirty racing as well. We saw definitely a little bit of spirited racing, but one of the favorite things I do like about Apex is as well, the stewarding team, the admins there, when they do have to get a protest, the memes that they put up to go with it are just fantastic. So I'm looking forward to see if we're going to get any of that in the next couple of days. Generally, it looked pretty clean, but a couple of incidents on the first lap, I think these things happen. These guys they raced each other quite a bit, but such a large grid as well. But one thing we do need to do is we're going to give a little bit of a shout out to our sponsors. Now, I do have a new fresh screen for that, and just give me 1 second here. I've got a little bit of information about all of them, and I'm going to actually copy this over to Mike very quickly. Just give me 1 second here. Mike, get ready to check your Discord. Okay, hang on a second. We're going to do this real smooth. Ladies and gentlemen, so elegant here. I'll take one, you take one. So, Apex Sim Racing for immersive racing gear. They carry Q Patrols, Momo, Moser Racing, Sim Magic, OBP Motorsport, OMP, that's definitely a name I'm familiar with, Rich DPC, and Apex Sim Racing brands.
Yeah, so we've got full speed sim coaching, where your personal coach will make you a better sim racer. Blake's mission is for you to get a better understanding of sim racing fundamentals to take you to the next level. Using visual guidance and telemetry analysis, he caters to novice and intermediate racers using iRacing and Assetto Corsa. So make sure you jump on in there and see what benefits you can get and see if you can improve.
Well, another coaching application as well. Get Good Racing with one-on-one coaching or a self-directed course. Now, if you're anything like me, you probably need the person just to give you a little bit of an ass whooping. Get Good Racing has what you need to improve your iRacing skills. Marion, and he is a 5K iRacing driver, one of the top 1% of iRacing drivers, definitely a lot faster than me. In the end, his goal is to make you understand how you can self-coach yourself in the long run, giving you all the tools and making sure you can use them. Race Smarter with Drew. Obviously, you can see my formatting was great. We're on to the next sponsor, ladies and gentlemen. Race Smarter with Drew, the digital race engineer. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it's not Dr. Drew. It's not that. He's a rapper or something, isn't he? Dre?
Yeah, I believe he is.
You knew what I meant. Terrible pun, ladies and gentlemen. Usually you expect something a little bit more spunky and hilarious from me. I'm Corey Mitchell. I'm sorry to disappoint you on that one this week, but he is a premium spotter and crew chief with many additional benefits built exclusively for iRacing. He is the best iRacing spotter, perfect for VR users as well. He monitors your racing, context, and alerts you. It's the crew chief that iRacing needs. Use your voice buttons to control over 400 commands. I wonder if we can even understand British. Get vital feedback from over 50 voice alerts. Nothing to look at or be distracted by. Well, isn't that fantastic? And I think that is all of our sponsors as well. I'm just going to check Apex list again just to see if we have anybody in there who's looking for an interview, and I do believe it is quiet on that front. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've got to say thank you very much for joining me here today. Your next race is going to be at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, Sunday the 14th of July. It's going to be up the same time, same place, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm Vin Daniel Zippy Salmon. Alongside me, Mr. Mike, the ballerina broomhead. We'll tell you that story about why he's called ballerina next time he pops in, assuming he pops in. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining in. Again, thank you very much as well to T. Phillips. Really appreciate you helping us get that audio. And any feedback, constructive, even if you just want to tell me that, I can go choke on a bag or something, that's fine. Send me a message. Let me know. I'll take it in good stead. We're constantly looking to improve the show. And you know what? Your feedback matters. So thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in. And we will see you next week.